This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Kal halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rukwakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the brothers on down, teaching and preaching, pushing this gospel. Good news to the four corners of the earth, waking up the hopeful elect of Israel. Also greetings to the few sisters that tune in to these videos, epistles. We call this lesson Nuclear Nightmare Diplomacy, NND. It's not original of mine. The title, I'm quite certain, is from one of my heroes. I often refer to Gil Scott Heron. He's a poet, and he used to try to sing, but really he's a poet and a writer, and would put his stuff to music. NND, I can't remember which one of his tunes, which one of his CDs it was on back in the day, but this nuclear hell is about to hit the earth, and so the kind of policies that are discussed around it is referred to as nuclear nightmare diplomacy. Back in the day, living in England, I remember what was referred to as the troubles in Northern Ireland, where they'd be trying to come to a solution of peace. And it was said the attitude of one of the sides that they would have their guns underneath the table while the discussions were taking place. That is to say, if it doesn't go my way, the fighting would continue. And so there was an overt threat. It's explicit. It's got to go my way because I have actually got my guns under the table. So here we have it, nuclear nightmare diplomacy. The war drums are beating ever so loudly. Let's see if we can get through a few scriptures here that backs this up, because we know the Bible has so much to say about this. I think let's go back to Matthew 24, starting this time at 4, I think. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, this is the red letter, he's speaking to his disciples, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We're right there, right now. All these are the beginning of sorrows. See? That's where we are. And we can't wait. Just watching the news, we can't wait for these Edomites, the so-called white man, to push the button on the next phase of his mad schemes for perpetual slavery with this under-the-skin technology. Right, where next? Let's try the Apocrypha, I think. We're going to go to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 13. Or should we do the other one first? Let's see. 2nd Esdras 15, starting at 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, said the Lord Yahweh. That's our name, the name of our power, Yahweh. That's his name, his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. And we currently being called by these bywords given to us by this wicked rulership, the Edomite Roman Empire, the extension of it, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the great speckled bird. That's who we are. That's who our power is. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary, for the Lord Yahweh knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth. That's what this NND is. It's one of the plagues. Nuclear nightmare diplomacy. And ye shall remain in them, for the heavenly Father shall not deliver you. Why? Because ye have sinned against him. Let's go back now to 2nd Ezra 13, starting at 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. They're not looking forward to his coming. They're thinking of this Edomite, this so-called white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. Totally passive character, pale, skinny. This man, he's got leprosy. They covered over all the faces of the images that were more accurately in depicting the features, the phenotype of our power. So they will be amazed, they will be astonished. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. That's when Michael and his angels is going to stand up in Daniel 12:1, and he shall fight for his people under Yahweh Shai, of course. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son, whose name is Yahweh Shai, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. You see, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and I will leave that there. We know goes on to say he's going to rebuke the wicked. Let's turn quickly now to Jeremiah 50, starting at verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon. Babylon, that's America, Babylon the Great, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he goes before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. That's Russia. Back in Ezekiel, you'll see the Medes, Gog and Magog. They occupy the land, and they're being roused up right now, getting this third world war on the way. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, what arrows? That's this NND, nuclear war. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Okay. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh. It's gonna be terrible. Where next? I think we want to have a look at the description, as they're turning up the music near to me here. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to raise my voice. Where next? Revelation 9. Let's look at this description here. Coming into this truth is another eye-opener. How accurate this is. This 2,000-year-old book. Or even some things it's saying go way back to the beginning of time. So Revelation 9, starting at 16. Speaking of these warheads, these missiles. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. That's 200 million missiles that's going to rain on that abominable land called America, Babylon the Great. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire. Third part of men, that's the Edomites, the so-called white man. Three classes of men discussed and described in the scriptures as the sons of God. Later became the Hebrew Israelites, the sons of men. That's the other 16 nations. And then there's the wicked, the third part of men, the so-called white man. That's what he wants you to call him. No such thing in the scriptures. He's the Edomite. He's a liar and deceiver. He's the devil in the earth that the Bible speaks of. By the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which was issued out of their mouths. For listen to this. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Their idols made with hands. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. He's the biggest thief ever known to man. There's no color in his skin. Hue in the human is missing. And he's missing many other traits as well. He is the wicked. Let's go now to Job. Let's read a few here in Job 15, starting at 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. People are waiting to kill him. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the end, that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against the Most High, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of bucklers. That's his armor. Because he covereth his face with his fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. And he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. This is a description of this wretched man. A thief. He's a murderer. He's a fugitive on the run. Verse 31, let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense, payback. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery and corruption. They conceive mischief, and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. That's all they do. Let's read a quick Psalms here. Psalms 58. Let's start at 6. Break their teeth, O power. It's a Psalm of David. The teeth, that refers to their military might. And also when they open their mouth, they're issuing out these laws, deceit, unlawful decrees, lies. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord, Yahweh. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as a cut in pieces, as a snail which melteth. Let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can feel the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind of nuclear war, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. We're really looking forward to it. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily, that truly there is reward for the righteous. Verily, truly, he is a power that judgeth in the earth. See? Thought you could get away with your crimes, all of your lies and deceit. But nuclear war is going to refresh the earth. That word there, kainos in the Greek, means refresh. That's what's coming. Where next? Proverbs 4, start at 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, listen to this, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence, and they're going to get it back. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They've got to do wickedness, or else they're not happy. They can't sleep. Where next? Let's go back to Revelation. Just a few verses here, starting at 2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass, mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his subdermal devices, under the skin technology, and over the number of his name. That's 666. Is synonymous with his wickedness. Stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. If we make it, we refer to ourselves as the hopeful elect. This is giving a reference to being able to see this lake of fire through the glass of the chariots. Somehow we're going to be able, you have to envision this. We're going to be able to witness from on high, should we make it, to see this place and this man's kingdom being torn apart and ripped to shred, being melted. And this is talking about it, the sea of glass, having the harps of the Heavenly Father, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High. That song of Moses includes verses to do with the destruction and putting down these Edomites, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the song of the Lamb saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Yahweh power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Can you imagine? You can only imagine. Verse 4, who shall not fear thee, O Lord Yahweh, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. They're going to be made known. These stupid arguments are going to be finished. I think we were going to go back to Matthew, wasn't we? Let's go back to Matthew. Matthew 24. And where did we read before? Let's start. Yes, Matthew 24. Let's read 9 to 14. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for not my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. When? And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then what? And then shall the end come. See? Let's jump to 21 here. Verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for who? But for the elect's sake. Those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is a Mashiach, or there believe it not. For there shall arise false saviors, messiahs, and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, see, this is repeated, they shall deceive the very elect. This is Yahushua speaking. It's in the red. You see? Let's get one last scripture. We're back to Revelations. We're bouncing back and forth. We're all over the place looking and seeing this nuclear nightmare diplomacy. That's what we're talking about. Revelations 2. Let's go from 25. But that which ye have is in red again. Yahushua speaking, our King. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. They're going to be coming under our rulership. They're going to be slaves. That's where they belong, underneath us. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. That's Psalms 2 and run about 8 and 9. And I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Kal halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Yes. Nuclear nightmare diplomacy is coming. Well, the diplomacy will be over. The real thing is what we're looking forward to. But this back and forth at the moment, I'm referring to that as nuclear nightmare diplomacy, where war drums are beating, as we said, and we're getting close. It's edging ever so closer. I can't wait for the under the skin technology to be implemented. Then we'll really know where we are in terms of these timelines. It can't be much longer. This wickedness, it's got to be close to perfection. And so we're getting really close. Let's end this lesson off here. And we know what we call the lesson. It's nuclear nightmare diplomacy. Shalom until the next one.